I'm proud of the fact that we have always been a work in progress. You know, we haven't gotten to the more perfect union, and we fought a civil war over part of it. And people have been protesting, you know, for hundreds of years that, you know, things were not as they should be given our ideals and how we should be moving toward them. So I think that's what makes us so special as a country. And the idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, you know, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, a certain religion, a certain point of view, a certain ideology, it's just doing such damage to what we should be aiming for. And we were on the path toward that. I mean, imperfectly, lots of, you know, bumps along the way, but I agree with you, we were on the right trajectory.
War Department so much is not because I love war. I don't, and neither do you. It's because I seek and love peace. And those who love and long for peace must prepare for war. We are in the strength department of peace through strength. Other folks will make sure that the diplomatic relations land right where they should, and our commander-in-chief is focused on that. He is a peace president, but he's asked me, he's asked General Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who's with us here today as well, to ensure that we have the most ready, most capable military the world has ever seen.
Olvidaron que por petróleo invadieron a Irak, a Siria, a Libia. Se olvidaron que las mismas razones que se expresan para defender a Zelensky son las mismas razones con las que se debería defender a Palestina. Se olvidaron que para cumplir los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible había que cesar todas las guerras, pero ayudaron a aprender una, porque al poder mundial le convenía en su juego de tronos, en los juegos del hambre, y se olvidaron de acabar la otra, porque el poder no le convenía acabarla. ¿Cuál diferencia entre Ucrania y Palestina? Pregunto. ¿No es hora de acabar ambas guerras y otras y aprovechar el corto tiempo para construir los caminos para salvar la vida en el planeta?
Este es mi último discurso como presidente aquí, ya es el cuarto.
Hoy Naciones Unidas ve su crisis y la necesidad de su transformación. Aquí se reúnen estados-nación que ya no tienen poder, que por mucho que voten no se les hace caso, se hace cómplice del genocidio. Este recinto es testigo mudo y cómplice de un genocidio en el mundo de hoy. Trump no habla de democracia, no habla de crisis climática, no habla de vida, solo amenaza y mata y deja matar a decenas de miles. No hay raza superior, señores. No hay pueblo elegido de Dios. No lo es ni Estados Unidos ni Israel. Ignorantes fundamentalistas de extrema derecha piensan así. El pueblo elegido de Dios es la humanidad toda. La ONU tiene que cambiar ya. Debe antes que nada detener el genocidio de Gaza. La humanidad no puede permitir ni un día más de genocidio, ni a los genocidas de Netanyahu ni sus aliados en Estados Unidos e Europa, dejarlos libres. La diplomacia ya acabó su papel, señores, en el caso de Gaza. No pudo solucionarlo. El genocidio debe parar con lo que sigue a la diplomacia. Es con una votación de la Asamblea de las Naciones Unidas y no con una votación del Consejo de Seguridad que vetan. Es con una Uniting for Peace para Palestina, conformando una fuerza armada para defender la vida del pueblo palestino. Por eso invito a las naciones del mundo y a sus pueblos, sobre todo, como parte de la humanidad, a unir ejércitos y armas. Hay que liberar a Palestina, porque no solo van a bombardear a Gaza, no solo al Caribe, como ya lo hacen, sino a la humanidad que clama libertad, porque desde Washington y la OTAN matan la democracia y hacen renacer la tiranía y el totalitarismo a nivel global. Después de salvar Gaza, pasaremos al plan para descarbonizar la economía del planeta. Es la hora de la libertad o la muerte, y es real la muerte en misiles, pero también es real la libertad en el corazón humano y su capacidad de unión, de rebelión y de existencia. Gracias, muy amable.
I just want to say this to our Christian friends, you know, just to call it as it is and say it straight out, you know, you guys are worshiping one Jew. That's a mistake. You should be worshiping every single one of us because we all die for your sins every single day. And that's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah.
We're all God's firstborn. We're dying for your sins right now because the Jewish people in the land of Israel are the bulwark against the orcs. Okay? The orcs are coming not to a theater near you, but to your home.
The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now and make our offering to different gods. We offer young men we call soldiers, as if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die. We call masses of humanity collateral damage and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee. And the truth is, we don't do it because we are heartless. We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing, that they demand blood as the price of their favor. We do it because we cannot see any other choice. And maybe that's why we read the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, on Rosh Hashanah. Because the story of the Akedah isn't about inconceivable obedience. When Abraham prepares to sacrifice Isaac, he is just accepting the same bargain of blood we still accept today, that some need to die for the world to flourish.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes, looking upstream to tackle poverty, conflict, climate change, issues that aren't just intolerable for those of us who care about inequality and injustice wherever it's found in the world.
The government is about to launch a new form of digital ID that means you'll never have to hand over your personal details to anyone again. It will all be stored in the Service New South Wales app on your phone, which will prove you are who you say you are.
Scanning his licence, passport and Medicare card, in less than 3 minutes, the minister proves he really is Victor Dominello.
This is unquestionably the Holy Grail.
This is your first look at the state's new digital ID.
This is a huge step forward in giving back people control over their data, control over their identity.
Personal credentials will be stored on your device. No IDs need to be handed over. And that means keeping your address and birth date to yourself. If you need to hire a car, rent a property, set up a bank account, check into a hotel, or prove you're over 18 to buy alcohol or attend an event.
But how can I trust you are who you say you are? Well, you'll need to take a selfie, which will be cross-checked against other forms of ID you've submitted. And when there's a match, you're good to go.
The technology will be opt-in and should be available later this year.
My neighbor thinks today's the rapture.
How do you hold this? Is it like this? Do you know how to hold a trumpet? Oh, it's like this, like this. Should I? I'm gonna do it in the front yard. My neighbor thinks today's the rapture. I'm gonna put you on this tree. Hang on. I don't know how to use it.
Could you hear it? Could you hear it?
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your family safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked.
Oh, hell nah. I filed an extension.
Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded. Try mealworms instead.
Can you guys please let me through?
Attention. Unauthorized political gathering detected. Participants' access to financial services has been suspended. Due to the speeding infraction, your car will be immobilized for 3 days.
Fuck you! Take your surveillance policies and rot in hell!
You've earned 50 bonus credits for reporting your neighbor's hateful misconduct. This content exceeds your current social credit tier. May we suggest citizen responsibility? Sarah, open the door. You have been identified by the authorities. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist.
Greetings, brothers and sisters from the four corners of the world. I hope you are doing well, and well. A lot is going on in the world. A lot is going on. And I know in previous lessons here, we spoke about racism, we spoke about Christian nationalism, and I said, let me go ahead, even though we're going to continue from what we were doing before, and I'm going to show you the outcome. I said, let me go ahead and include some of these things because we're living in a time where I may be doing a specific lesson, but you still need to know that these things are coming, even if I'm not, focused on that particular topic. Okay. So let's start off with the minor things. Okay. So this is Hillary Clinton. Everyone knows who this is by now. She's saying that Christianity is going to take a turn for the worst. This is 2025, by the way, about a day or two ago, maybe 3. And she's saying that people, specifically who she stated, white men in the United States and Europe, are trying to create something that never was. Now, regardless of political sides, when we're in the truth, we understand that this is two sides to the same bird. Okay? One wing, the other wing. You need two wings to fly, right? So when she shares this information that they're trying to make it something that it never was, what do they believe the United States is and was? They believe it was a Christian nation. Now, with that being said, let's do a little follow up here, okay? Now, let's see what she said. We'll go back.
I'm proud of the fact that we have always been a work in progress. You know, we haven't gotten to the more perfect union, and we fought a civil war over part of it. And people have been protesting, you know, for hundreds of years that, you know, things were not as they should be given our ideals and how we should be moving toward them. So I think that's what makes us so special as a country. And the idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was.
Turn the clock back and recreate a world that never was.
Dominated by, you know, let's say it, white men.
So are you saying this world was
Of a certain persuasion, a certain religion.
Of a certain religion, and she's referring to Christianity. Now, when we go back into Albert Pike in the Third World Wars, what did it say? Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves, civil war, against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization. Now, that Colombian president said the Europeans and America were the destroyers of nations. And you wonder why only European nations are in so much turmoil as to being overpopulated by people who don't speak like them, who don't look like them, and who don't have the same thoughts and culture as them. But it says, we'll exterminate those destroyers of civilization and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction. So they're going to drag Christianity through the mud so much, and they're going to start peeling back, peeling back, peeling back. I'm referring to Christians. They're going to start peeling back everything they've ever been taught. And the light bulb is going to eventually go off. And without a sense of direction, compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, anxious for anything, that means the Christians will be susceptible to any type of deceit if it means that they're going to be on top. Hence, the rapture. Oh, people were getting a manicure, a pedicure. People were doing waxes. People were selling their cars. People were selling their homes. People were quitting their jobs. Anything so they can feel that they would be on top while the rest of the world would perish. Kind of strange, right? But anywho, let's keep going. They would be anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, meaning having no idea of whom they serve, no idea who Christ actually is, no idea who the Most High actually is, no idea whom the Holy Spirit is, no idea whom the angels are. They will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. Now hold on now. I know you're like, this is crazy. And you're like, I've read this before, but hold on. I'm going to show you. It was stated here that they will receive the true light through universal manifestation. Now, what is manifested to happen universal? The mark of the beast. It will be Christians first who will say, I will do that. I will take that. They will be the ones to lay down their lives and say, of course, since we didn't get raptured, this is the way to go. I mean, our church pastors already told us to follow government, right? So they would, something universal, they would receive their so-called, excuse me, their so-called true light through universal manifestation. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism. So you're not gonna, you're gonna believe something. There won't be no, there won't, listen here, there won't be no doubt that there's a God. But there won't be no doubt either that Christianity is definitely not the answer. Christ, yes. Christianity and Constantine and the Council of Nice, absolutely not. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, smokes. The Most High is using this person, this reptilian, this shapeshifter. These devils are speaking. Now remember, there are certain people who have the ability. Now in Islam, they say that there are some evil angels, they call them jinn, right? Who can actually warn you of things. Now, if you believe that this is incorrect, you would just go back to Solomon and how he built the temple. The Testament of Solomon was all evil demons being under the command of Solomon. They had to listen to him. If you believe that it is not true that evil demons must listen to whom the Most High commands them to, then you forgot all about Enoch and how the fallen came and said everything to him, what they do, what they're in charge of, and how they're going to destroy people. Thus, Enoch using that information to equip us with knowledge and wisdom so we can watch out for the evil's crafty deceit. And that's where we are today. So these devils are trying to warn people. It's like they're playing good cop, bad cop. They still know where they're going. One more time.
And I'm proud of the fact that we have always been a work in progress. We haven't gotten to the more perfect union, and we fought a civil war over part of it. And people have been protesting, for hundreds of years that, things were not as they should be given our ideals and how we should be moving toward them. So I think that's what makes us so special as a country. And the idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, a certain religion, a certain point of view, a certain ideology, is just doing such damage to what we should be aiming for. And we were on the path toward that. I mean, imperfectly, lots of, bumps along the way, but I agree with you, we were on the right trajectory.
War Department so much, not because I love.
Hey, she said it. Now this lesson is called the road to denial. And this was one of the things I was talking about regarding Puerto Rico, where the United States is using Puerto Rico as kind of like a shield, a human shield for their upcoming war with Venezuela and possibly other countries in the Caribbean. So they're going to use Puerto Rico, and that's why they're there now. And he did say in an article that that was not for training purposes, that was the real deal. But once again, let's hear what he says.
War Department so much is not because I love war. I don't, and neither do you. It's because I seek and love peace.
So I seek and love peace.
And those who love and long for peace must prepare for war.
Now, wait, what? Now, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, especially if you in the Americas, that go from North America, from all the way from Canada, all the way down into South America, it's gonna be a domino effect. Mark my words. And it may not be immediately, but it's gonna be a domino effect. Okay. Now, once again, did you just hear what he said and pay close attention?
On the right trajectory.
War Department so much is not because I love war. I don't, and neither do you. It's because I seek and love peace. And those who love and long for peace must prepare for war.
Those who long and seek peace must prepare for war. So if you got a devil telling you that you must prepare for war, we're going to call this the road of denial, like I said, because so many people are in denial that it's coming. This is what the U.S. because I was in the army years ago. This is kind of like they have those camaraderie speeches and different things like that. This is where you start to hype the soldiers up, get them to feel good. You could do anything. You're the strongest. You're the baddest. You're the meanest. You're the toughest. We're the ones. They're doing it. And those pep talks got you feeling good, got you feeling, oh yeah, we're about to, go deploy down range, do what we gotta do. Now, everyone's not all in it for the same reasons. Some people in it for school, some people in it for money, some people forced for jail time, and other things, right? But people getting motivated. Some people ready for a deployment check, tax-free deployment check. And I'm gonna tell you right now that tax-free deployment check is not worth your soul. Anywho, if you love peace, you must prepare for war. Now, remember, we ended. Remember, we ended the lesson, the last lesson was Psalms 144. Okay? And we ended with 144 and 1 says, Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. So those who love peace must be what?
Love war. I don't, and neither do you. It's because I seek and love peace. And those who love and long for peace must prepare for war.
Those who long and love peace must prepare for war. This is the time where the Most High will teach you, and I've been saying this to everyone for a while now, prepare yourself. I always said, Mr. Job said, hey, do something that your future self will thank you for. And meaning, let's say 2 years from now, you're like, yeah, I'm so happy I kept exercising. I'm so happy, look where I am now. Rather than 2 years from now, man, this is not where I wanted to be. Look at me. I'm not even ready. Mm. Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war, my fingers to fight. Now, my question is, what's the big deal with Venezuela? What's the big deal with Panama? What's the big deal where now the U.S. Department of War seeks to war with Hispanics, what they call Hispanics, right? What's the big deal? Brothers and sisters, prepare.
We are in the strength department of peace through strength.
Peace through strength. I've never heard that in the Bible at all. Not, not one bit. Not one bit.
Other folks will make sure that the diplomatic relations land right where they should, and our commander-in-chief is focused on that. He is a peace president, but he's asked me, he's asked General Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who's with us here today as well, to ensure that we have the most ready, most capable military the world has ever seen.
Now, we're gonna the first one. This was this was the Colombian president in 2023. I wanted to share with y'all what he was saying from 2023. And when you see him switch to the white, that was 2025. Okay, that was just about a day or two ago. Now, first of all, he said he came up there with an intention. He said, "This is my last speech at the UN." Now, after this speech, the United States revoked his visa. That was September 27th. So he knew. He came up there and they said, "You're not welcome back here ever again," for telling. And you know what he said after this speech? He told outside of America, he told he sent a message to the U.S. Army soldiers to defy Trump's orders and do a coup in America. They said, you're not welcome back ever. Don't ever come back. You, your family, your children, your whole lineage, don't ever come back. But anywho, let's keep going. And I want you to pay attention to what he's saying.
Este es mi último discurso como presidente aquí, ya es el cuarto. Hoy Naciones Unidas ve su crisis y la necesidad de su transformación. Aquí se reúnen estados que ya no tienen poder, que por mucho que voten no se les hace caso, se hace cómplice del genocidio. Este recinto es testigo mudo y cómplice de un genocidio en el mundo de hoy. Trump no habla de democracia, no
He's saying Trump does not speak about democracy, does not speak about climate
habla de crisis climática, no habla de vida,
does not speak of life.
solo amenaza y mata.
He only threatens, kills,
Y deja matar a
and allows tens of thousands to be killed.
de miles. No hay raza superior,
There is no superior race.
no hay pueblo elegido.
There's no chosen people of God. Now, hold on before you say something. Hold on now.
De Dios no lo es ni está.
Neither the United States nor Israel is that. So he is not saying that there is no chosen people of God. He's saying the United States and what you see as Israel right now in the land of Israel, neither of these people are God's chosen people. That is what he is saying.
Mata y deja matar a decenas de miles. No hay raza superior, señores. No hay pueblo elegido de Dios. No lo es ni Estados Unidos ni Israel. Ignorante, fundamentalistas de extrema derecha.
Now, in the United States, they're talking about the left, the left, the left. He's saying ignorant, far-right fundamentalists think that way. He's talking about Trump. He's talking about MAGA. He's talking about all those people who believe that way. He's talking about those protests that's going on in Australia. He's talking about the protests that's happening in Ireland. He's talking about the protests that's happening in the UK and different parts of Europe. The far right, the Nazis, that's what he's referring to, brothers and sisters.
Los de extrema derecha piensan así, el pueblo elegido de Dios.
Now, the chosen people is all of humanity. Now, I wonder why he would say that. Do you know why? And people will hate me for saying this, but it's because the children of Israel are scattered throughout every single corner in every single nation. So that means it doesn't matter what color someone is, what shape they are, you're going to know eventually when the rubber meets the road. And should the Most High want you to know who exactly you are. But we should all treat each other as we want to be treated. This was the law in the Torah. This was the message that Christ came to send. Treat everyone equally and peacefully.
La humanidad toda. La ONU tiene que cambiar ya. Debe antes que nada detener el genocidio de Gaza. La humanidad no puede permitir
Humanity cannot allow one more day of genocide.
Ni un día más de genocidio, ni a los genocidas de Netanyahu ni sus aliados en Estados Unidos.
Nor let Netanyahu, their allies in the United States or Europe, go unpunished. Now, this is looking really tricky here. You know why? Because the Most High in the Holy Bible says that sinners would not go unpunished. When you start to hear certain words, unpunished, that means the poor of the earth is crying out. And the Most High is saying, I see children, I see my creation. You think that the evils are going unpunished, but just hold on a little bit more. Because if I was to punish them, it would bring you with them. Right? So the Most High is saying, Hey, I'm looking out for your best interests.
Europa, dejarlos libres. La diplomacia ya acabó su papel, señores, en el caso de Gaza. No pudo solucionarlo. El genocidio debe parar con lo que sigue a la diplomacia, con una votación de la Asamblea de las Naciones Unidas y no con una votación del Consejo de Seguridad de Beta. Es con una Uniting for Peace para Palestina, conformando una fuerza armada para defender la vida del pueblo palestino. Por eso invito a las naciones del mundo y a sus pueblos, sobre todo, como parte de la humanidad, a unir ejércitos y...
As a part of what? Now, it's getting juicy now and above. That's why I call on the nations of the world
del mundo y a sus pueblos,
and above all their peoples as a part of humanity
sobre todo, como parte de la humanidad, a unir ejércitos
to unite armies and weapons. Oh, that is the one world order. Now, the one world order, let me explain to you. It's going to come in the guise of we need to stop these superpowers from believing that they can do anything to anyone. Hence, this is what he's saying: United States and European nations and Israel. Uh-oh, if you are in those regions, United States and European nations who accept this, prepare for war from different parts of the world. Meaning, you guys are smart. You're intelligent. You know what's going to happen. The world is going to say, wait a second. And think of it like this. I want to use Mexico as a perfect example. The Mexicans realized that the Americans go down to Cancun and Osaka and different parts of Mexico, and they travel there for vacation, buy up land and different things, and then they're going to deport their people, and they see how you're treating their people back in your own country. The Mexicans said, we don't want you here. If our people are not welcome in your country, why would we want you in ours? This is gonna, hey, and this is why I said a long time ago, I feel bad for our Caucasian brothers and sisters, because the whole time of history it was, oh, why do you always have to talk about race? Why do you have to? And now you cannot run from race. You are going to have to choose a side. You cannot run from it. And what did the Bible say in the book of Jeremiah? They will come, the Gentiles will come and say, our fathers have lied to us, because we understood that you can't brush things under a rug and then not expect for the bump to show. Eventually, with all the dirt that you keep brushing under the rug, we're going to have to uncover, we're going to have to flip up that rug, and all the dirt and the filth would be under there. So I do feel bad, because it's going to get ugly. And you brothers, sisters, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. If you scared about, it's going to get ugly. Let's keep going. So he said he wanted to unite armies and weapons. Now remember, in 2nd Ezra, they said the world would unite their weapons as the return of Christ would come, and he would dismantle all weapons. This is where we are. And when I tell you, brothers and sisters, I myself, as a minister, a man of the Most High, I'm a little scared, not just for everyone. Even I'm like, for myself, I'm saying, man, this is moving quick. I'm not scared to stand before Christ. I'll be honored. And I know we all got to get judged. But what I'm saying is, I'm scared because this is happening so fast that people aren't even recognizing it. This is how it's like I can take their words and match it identically with something that the Bible said in prophecy. Come on.
Todo como parte de la humanidad a unir ejércitos y armas. Hay que liberar a Palestina, porque no solo van a bombardear a Gaza, no solo al Caribe, como ya lo.
Now, he said, because it will not only be Gaza that is bombed,
Bombardear a Gaza, no solo al Caribe.
Not only the Caribbean, as is already happening, because a lot of people don't recognize there's already war and bombs dropping in the Caribbean. Oh, your vacation spots are running out, aren't they? Right?
Como ya lo hacen, sino la humanidad.
But humanity itself that cries out for freedom. Wow. Freedom from who?
Clama libertad, porque desde Washington y la.
Because from Washington, the US and NATO, European countries,
Matan la democracia.
They kill democracy. They kill freedom, is what they call freedom. Wow. TikTok. And revive tyranny. Now, hold on now. Revive means bring back to life. What did Hillary Clinton just say? They're trying to turn back the clocks of time and recreate what. So, yes, you are seeing, if you are not a history buff, you may want to stop. Oh, George Orwell, I think it was called Hitler, the Reich. Woo! Anywho.
Y el totalitarismo a nivel global.
Totalitarianism globally.
Después de salvar Gaza.
And what's crazy is everyone thought about China. Now, there's some stuff about China. China ain't off the hook because they made that Great Wall to keep beings from China on their side, not to come on the other side, but that's for another day. But people were worried about China at the moment. No.
Pasaremos al plan para el descargo.
Now, listen to this now. And the Bible don't lie.
Global. Después de salvar Gaza,
After saving Gaza, we will move on to the plan to decarbonize
al plan para descarbonizar la economía del
the world economy. Say what? What did you say? Decarbonize. Decarbonize. Now, I'm gonna pull this up. Decarbonize. It is what you think it is. Decarbonize. Now, the world economy. Now, check this out. Decarbonize. Remove carbon deposits. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Reduce or eliminate carbon dioxide emissions such as manufacturing and production of energy, aka money. paper, okay? AKA the electronic system is about to be in full effect. Okay? Just for your FY. Now watch this. Now the Bible tells us this. It is the hour of freedom or death. Now this is no different than what the Most High says. I give you life or death. You're going to choose one or the other. And how you walking, how you talking, how you discerning, going to tell the Most High which side you want to go on. Do you want yours to be cut short in death, or do you want freedom? And that road is a very narrow road, but do you want it? It's very tight. Death by missiles is real. Now, I done shared with y'all that the Holy Scriptures say there would be nukes over the earth. Come on now. Death by missiles is real, he said. But so too is freedom in the human heart. What? And to me, this is saying, prepare, people of the world, because some of you are not going to make it. But you want to know what? Remember, Christ said the kingdom is within. So if you die, guess what? Die free in your heart, knowing that the kingdom is within and that you will be recompensed for the Most High sake. Oh my goodness. But no. We're on the road to denial, right? No one believes any of these things, right? La libertad en el corazón humano y su capacidad de unión, de rebelión y de existencia. Gracias, muy amable. Come on now. Now, this one had me shocking. I was like, what? We're going to go here. Because all the Christians, they were talking about the rapture this day. And a lot of people celebrated the blowing of trumpets this day. And I'm like, well, whatever. I'm not even going to get into it. But listen to what they said again.
Greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice.
Now, wait a minute now. Human sacrifice. So, 2025 is the year to just throw it all out there. We don't care if you believe it or not. We're going to say it. Because this is what we do. This is what they're saying they do behind closed doors. And we just want you to know. Now, here's the thing, right? Remember, in the sinner's lesson, they needed permission. What is permission? Right? What is permission? Now let's look at the different words. Permit, to permit, the act of permitting or allowing, allowance, license, or liberty granted. Right now, hold your tea, okay? Hold your tea. Consent, authorization, okay? To allow, permit. Same thing, consent to do something, consent to someone to do something, authorize or give permission. A scope, now provide an opportunity or scope for something to take place, allow for, admit of. Now, brothers and sisters, this is your right of permission right here. When they're allowed to screen this on television, that's your right of permission. That same thing, just what is a week or two ago, they were doing the same memorial for that individual. Come on now. Right of permission. You watch, you tune in, you agree, more so if you agree with it. Because you can watch something for discernment and not agree with it. Because what? You must consent to what they're saying. You must consent to what they're doing. Now, if you support these individuals and you are participating in what they participate in, then you are serving their same God. And who's their God? Just listen.
The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now and make our offering to different gods.
To different gods. We human sacrifice and offer to different gods.
We offer young men we call soldiers.
We're going to offer soldiers.
As if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die. We call masses of humanity collateral damage.
So what they call in war, genocide, collateral damage.
And turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee.
So they're literally telling you, if you see what's going on in the world and you turn a blind eye to it, you're a part of human sacrificing. What? What world are we living in 2025? They literally told you, you can sip your coffee, go to work, click change the remote, but as long as you know about it and see it and turn the blind eye, you are a culprit with us too. What? Run it back.
We call masses of humanity collateral damage and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee.
No, I don't want to look at that. It's too graphic. It's too graphic. They should just leave. They should just leave. It's not theirs. They should just leave. Right? That's what they say.
And the truth is, we don't do it because we are heartless. We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running.
Huh? We don't care because we're heartless. We don't care because we understand. We believe that this is necessary for things to keep going. What? Come again? You believe people dying is necessary for Most High have mercy.
We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing, that they demand blood as the price of their favor.
Holy moly, what? The gods that you serve seek blood. Now, you've seen in Revelation 2 and 9 and 3 and 9 when the Most High said that these people are the synagogue of Satan. Well, there you have it. I don't really know what else compelling, what else is going to compel you to see the truth. We're talking about the road of denial. So the God you seek, the God you serve, seeks blood. I don't serve that God. What God you talking about? Moloch? Baal? Uh-uh. Yahweh, four-letter tetragrammaton, Jehovah? That's the God they're referring to. It's all the same. Come again? The, just in case you didn't catch it before.
That it is necessary for the world to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing.
So now hold on to what the devil is saying. The gods that we desperately seek and the things that they give, which is what?
Freedom,
freedom, security,
prosperity,
flourishing,
and flourishing. That they demand blood as the price of their favor.
They demand blood for their blessings. Oh my gosh. Well. I could have sworn that the Holy Word said you can't serve two masters. So you understand prosperity comes with a price. Certain freedoms come with a price. Security comes with a price. Prosperity comes with a price. Blood. And you may say some people didn't die. You may say some people down the street you may know who doing well didn't die. Maybe you're doing well. Who knows? But guess what? Blood just isn't physical blood. Remember, devils don't play for just blood. They play for your soul, your eternity. I mean, if that was the case, you'd fall and scrape your knee if they wanted blood. No, they want things further greater than just blood. They know within the blood lies the soul. They want your soul. So they said, you want freedom, security, you want prosperity? Give me your soul. Oh my. But you're still in denial, aren't you? You're still in denial, right?
That it is necessary for the world to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing, that they demand blood as the price of their favor. We do it because we cannot see any other choice.
There is another choice. Why can't we just love each other? So I want you to know, brothers and sisters, this was their new year. If they're bringing in the new year talking like this, what in the world you think 2026 going to look like? If you never listen to a word I said, listen to what I'm going to say now. Prepare yourself and actually take it seriously. Hold yourself accountable when you fall short. Because if something happens to you, God forbid, guess what? They will look left and look right and not even care. This is what they're saying. They're programming people to look left, look right. If you don't agree with me, your death doesn't matter. You were just a part of the offering to our God. The United States is becoming a cult. I said it. There it is. I said it. It's becoming a cult. And Europe will become the same way. Places like Australia, New Zealand, all those places, they'll fall in line. And even different places as well. But they said they did it because they had no choice. They couldn't see any other choice but to sacrifice someone. They didn't say pray for you. They didn't say help you. They didn't say feed you. They didn't say clothe you. They said sacrifice. They said sacrifice you because there was no other choice.
We do it because we cannot see any other choice. And maybe that's why we read the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, on Rosh Hashanah. Because the story of the Akedah isn't about inconsistency.
Now, the Akedah, I did some searching, and it is totally something where they believe, but they believe it differently. And some people will say, "Oh, it's the sacrifice from that Abraham made, right?" But remember, Abraham didn't kill him. So many people gonna believe this. Christians, they will believe this. You put the narrative on television, Palestine, Gaza versus Israel, right? The Israelis. You put the narrative Hamas versus the IDF, and oh, one side go Muslim, one side go Jews, one side go this, and you have a split, and people must choose. I shared this a long time ago. This was the purpose of reading and studying. So you understand when you have to choose that you're making the right choice because your soul is on the line. Your soul is on the line. That's why I said that. But let's keep going.
The binding of Isaac on Rosh Hashanah. Because the story of the Akedah isn't about inconceivable obedience. When Abraham prepares to sacrifice Isaac, he is just accepting the same bargain of blood we still accept today.
When I tell you these devils blaspheme, because where did anyone see where it said that he cut the blood off of his son? I didn't see that.
That some need to die for the world to flourish.
Now, if that's not enough confirmation to tell you that the world is remember that saying, the world is headed to hell in a handbasket. Well, brothers and sisters, we're already in hell. Well, you can go on public television and you can tell people that we have no problem sacrificing anybody for the sake of our gods. And we don't mind drinking our coffee in the morning, swiping left and seeing your body and going to work with a smile. There is a problem. There is a problem, and the world is sick. When someone can come on national TV in the name and guise in the disguise of God and the name of religion and say that those people need to die for us to flourish, we are already in hell. The world is already in hell. What do you mean that some people should die so you can enjoy your life? And I'm upset, brothers and sisters. You know why? Hopefully, this will be the lesson that sparks something inside of everyone like, oh my gosh, this is real. This is where we are. If I die, no one will care. This also tells me that there are beings, demonic forces, that are going to start doing evil in mass gatherings. Come on now.
He is just accepting the same bargain of blood we still accept today, that some need to die for the world to flourish.
And that is why today.
What? What? Y'all already heard. Y'all heard about the UK. The digital ID is coming. Australia said it's coming. And this woman, she was clowning about the rapture. Now, she said playing the trumpets because her neighbors thought the rap. And you know what? I'm going to touch on this. One part of me was like, man, that's cold. That's just downright dirty. The other part was me laughing. You know why? I was laughing because Christians don't read. And when you don't read and you become so prideful in what you're saying, then this gives people the ability to mock the Most High's word. When they mock the trumpets are real. The 7 trumpets are real. The 7 angels, the 7 bodies of Christ that call themselves churches, the 7 vials, those are all real. But because of Christianity, now you have individuals mocking God because of their deception. And you know what? Just like that woman will get punished for mocking the Most High's word, though she was in error, and though where she got the information, they were in error, her and the Christians both deserve to get judged. Because you know what? People were saying, oh, the Christians, give them mercy. The Bible doesn't call someone who teaches you falsely to give them mercy. They call them a false prophet and a false teacher because the Most High never called them to teach. You get no mercy when you start spewing lies and then condemning everyone because they don't believe in it. Come on now. And then you have this. Cackling and cackling.
How do you hold this? Is it like this? Do you know how to hold a trumpet? Oh, it's like this, like this.
And she having a ball too.
Should I?
Now watch this. You know the Most High is not to be mocked. So the Most High, you say, okay, Most High has the right to do anything. He is the one. He's the creator, right? He can get rid of the Christian, keep this woman, because those Christians, remember what I said, influence. Social media is influence. The minute you put it on, you're affecting someone to affect someone else, thousands of people. Whoever started this whole rapture and got people selling their stuff, they deserve to go to hell, and everyone else who followed them to lead someone else to sell all their belongings and be in financial ruin. And then what does that do? That makes people doubt God. They deserve the fire. They deserve the fire. I said it. You're going to lead millions of people. And the Christians are like, oh, well, we should give mercy. The Bible calls people, better yet, Christ told you. We went over this. Christ told us in Matthew 24, watch out for these people who keep saying, me, 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 me. Christ, Christ, Christ. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Oh, I'm following Christ. Watch out for these people. Because the Baptist is wrong. The Mormons is wrong. The Jehovah Witnesses is wrong. The Seventh-day Adventists, they didn't try to articulate the end for years. They're wrong. All of them is wrong. And still you're going to keep believing their foolery? But let's go on to this woman. You see, the Most High, he got a sense of humor. Like I said, he could do whatever he pleased. Don't you know the Most High sense of humor will say, you know what? You want to mock my trumpets? You may thought you were mocking the false Christians. But you see, I do have my angels blow trumpets. They're called seven, right? And you will hear the trumpet with the earthquake, right? With the angels coming, right? So why don't I just keep you alive to show you what you were truly mocking instead of those people who were false? And boy, won't you see that smile turn right upside down. Because the Most High is not to be mocked. He he a big step over there. He'll show you. He'll show you. And what did the Bible say? What did the pseudegraphy say? He knows how to preserve the evil until the end. That means he'll watch you. He'll let you watch Christ come through the sky and still deny you. Ooh-wee. This wasn't a game. Not a game at all. Not a game at all. I mean, brothers and sisters, I was upset from the beginning. All right, so now let's get into the beautiful scriptures. Amen. Got me upset over here. We're going to go into the book of Baruch. This is Baruch chapter 3. Oh, and hold on. I did want to share with y'all some current events. So, one, if you're in the United States, the Pentagon ordered the U.S. military officials from all over the world to gather in Virginia on the 30th of September. The 30th of September, which is actually the real Day of Atonement, but we won't go there. And then Trump orders deployment. Notice, hence word BBC. Foreign news outlets. It's not saying he calls troops to go. He orders deployment. Remember, this is a deployment for these soldiers. They are now against the citizens. Martial law. Trump orders deployment of troops in Portland, Oregon. Excuse me. Next. Now, I'm going to share this. I'm happy that the young man, the 17-year-old boy, was recovered and safe. This is a white boy, a Caucasian young man who was, they called an alert, an Amber Alert for him. Now, I'm happy he's okay, but I'm showing you this and I'm sharing with you this because something startling happened. Now, this is the United States. So the report went out that this young man, this young boy, was shot for wearing a MAGA hat and was kidnapped by 4 Hispanic men. Okay. What do you think about that now? That he was kidnapped by 4, he was shot and taken in a van by 4 Hispanic men. Follow me. They put an APB out. They put a Amber Alert out for the young man, for the young boy, and lo and behold, once he was found, they said, "Oh, sorry, it was a mistake. We thought they believed the boy was wounded and may have been taken, but they backtracked, and all of it was incorrect." Now, I'm just going to show you, if you are in the wrong place at the right time, you will be sacrificed. And you saw it previously in the video. They will drink their coffee, say, and make up any story they want and say, now I can imagine, right? How many Hispanic men were they trying to look at when they put that out? Now, when you say a van, right, for Hispanic males, maybe you're thinking they work in HVAC, or maybe they work in construction or something. So now I'm like, okay, you're kind of painting a motive as to who to look for and where to go. Be careful. Happy the young lad is well, but see, they will frame anyone, and that's dangerous. There wasn't no sorry, we made a mistake. There wasn't none of that. Next, by the end of 2025, passports for the US will now be able to be logged onto your Apple Wallet, showing you that video that I showed you, first your ID is on your phone, now your passport and your medical. So the world is already moving. The problem is with the United States, you just have to look for things, right? And you can find if it's happening in the United States. In other countries, they'll flat out and tell you, if you don't got this digital ID, then get the heck out of here. We don't want you. You won't be able to work. But in the United States, they're like, each his own. I'm convinced that the U.S. government, and this is true, they hate their people. They make them look like they love them, but they hate them. They're kind of like little pawns. All right. Now, this is really interesting because the United States government is supposed to be getting shut down. And yeah, we hear this every year, right? But for some strange reason, I feel like this may be the one. I don't know, because Mr. Trump needs an emergency to happen so he can enact executive orders to actually stay in office. Now, this says Treasury announces federal government will phase out of paper checks. Now, I don't know who writes checks anymore, but goodbye. Okay, this is hometreasury.gov. The U.S. Department of Treasury announced that the federal government will stop issuing paper checks for most federal payments on September 30th, 2025. If you are one of the few people who still receive federal benefit checks, it's time to switch to an electronic payment method. Reducing paper checks has been a long-standing bipartisan goal that our administration is finally putting into action. Thanks to President Trump, this will help reduce fraud and theft, and will also remove delays that prevent hardworking Americans from receiving their vital payments. No action is required for the vast majority of Americans who already receive federal benefit payments electronically. If we If you still receive a paper check for Social Security, veterans benefits, or any other federal benefit, enroll in direct deposit using one of the following options. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. Paper checks, gone. Next is paper money. But hey, I don't even know if people still use those. All right, going on in the world. Here we go. One moment. All right, brothers and sisters, thank you for your patience in that brief pause. All right, here we go. So this is Baruch chapter 3. All right, and we'll be going through 1 through 21. It reads, Almighty Lord God of Israel, a soul in anguish, a troubled heart now cries to you. Listen and have pity, Lord, for we have sinned in your sight. You sit enthroned forever, while we perish continually. Almighty Lord, God of Israel, hear the prayer of the dead of Israel, and of the sons of those who have sinned against you, and have not listened to the voice of the Lord their God. Hence, the disasters that have seized on us. Do not call to mind the misdeeds of our ancestors, but remember instead your power and your name. You are indeed the Lord our God, and we long to praise you. Lord, since you have put respect for you in our hearts to encourage us to call on your name, we long to praise you in our exile. For we have emptied our hearts of the evil inclinations of our ancestors who have sinned against you. Look on us today, still in exile, where you have dispersed us as something execrable, accursed, condemned, in punishment for all the misdeeds of our ancestors who had abandoned the Lord our God. Listen, Israel, to commands that bring life. Hear and learn what knowledge means. Why, Israel, why are you in the country of your enemies, growing older and older in an alien and a stranger in a Gentile land, sharing defilement with the dead, reckon with those who go to Sheol, because you have forsaken the fountain of wisdom. You have walked in the way of God. Had you walked in the way of God, you would have lived in peace forever. Learn where knowledge is, where strength, where understanding, and so learn where length of days is, where life, where the light of the eyes, and where peace. But who has found out where she lives? Who has entered her treasure house? Where now are the leaders of the nations, and those who ruled even the beasts of the earth, who had the birds of heaven at their beck and call, who accumulated silver and gold on which mankind relies, and whose possessions had no limits, those who displayed the artistry in silver, that their masterpieces beggar imagination? They have vanished, gone down to Sheol. Others have risen to their places. More recent generations have seen the day when the people and peopled the earth in their turn. But the way of knowledge is something they have not known. They have not recognized the path she treads, nor have their sons had any grasp of her, remaining far away, remaining far from her way. And you know, brothers and sisters, I start this lesson off with this prayer from Baruch. Because as I shared with you, and as you saw the videos, we're already in hell. We're already in a hell. Now, this ain't the hell of judgment. This is the hell where evil is in charge. This is the hell where evil turns a blind eye to the innocence of bloodshed. That's the hell we live in, where the corrupt and the unjust thrive. And you know, it was really interesting. I can't remember where I seen it. Someone shared with me a Quran scripture, and it said, I think it was from one of their one of their hadiths, because I don't remember seeing it in Quran, but it said that God said that the world is a paradise for sinners, and the world is pain and suffering for the righteous. Come on now. And my goodness. My goodness. Now, remember I spoke to y'all about Ebionites? You know that was a derogatory term, right? But they were a part of the Nazarenes, by the way. But they called them Ebionites. You know what Ebionites means? It means the poor. It was the Ebionites who followed Christ like nothing. Like that was it. Their life depended on following everything Christ said. The Nazarenes, the Essenes, the Ebionites, they were called the poor. So when Christ is saying, blessed are the poor, he's talking about the people who was following him. Because you're not going to be rich and have everything you want in life and follow Christ. You're not going to have everything you want in life and be with the Most High. Come on now. Come on. Now, going back to the beautiful Baruch, I love how he asks the Most High for forgiveness and he says, yes, we have made mistakes, but have pity on us, Most High. That we have not gone in the way of our ancestors. And you know what's crazy? My brothers and sisters, they always say, oh, I see so many people talking about our ancestors, our ancestors, our ancestors, our ancestors. Our ancestors, our ancestors. But our ancestors are the reason we're in this predicament now. You weren't supposed to go back to your ancestors. You were supposed to learn what they did and pick up in righteousness what they couldn't do. Come on. Come on. Now look what Baruch begins to say. He says, listen, Israel. Listen to the commands that bring life here and learn what real knowledge means. And you see, some of the children of Israel, Baruch was saying, was getting comfortable in lands they weren't promised or lands they don't belong. He said they were sharing defilement with the dead. It's kind of like if we were living in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, like during Lot's time, and the Most High sent Abraham to come and talk to us. And we're like, no, but I got my job and this is my home and I got everything here. Like I established everything. You know how the basic person says that, like, oh yeah, I got this going for me. And if it wasn't for this, I would go with you. This is what Baruch is saying. Like, why are you getting settled in a place that the Most High is not pleased with? Have mercy. Have mercy. Have mercy. Now, you see, it's just sad because once you sit there and look, it gives clear example. Learn where the knowledge is, where strength is, where understanding, and so learn. Who has found out where she lives? Now remember, this is like a riddle with Solomon talking about she is precious. That's wisdom. Wisdom was known as the Holy Spirit. Don't think and lean to your own understanding, but rather receive what is being. Brothers and sisters. Baruch 6. Because of the sins you have committed before God, you are to be deported to Babylon. What? Because of the sins you have committed before God, you are to be deported to Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians. Once you have reached Babylon, you will stay there for many years, as long as 7 generations, after which I shall bring you home in peace. Now in Babylon you will see gods made of silver and of gold and of wood, being carried shoulder high and filling the pagans with fear. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. Silver, gold, you got the Buddhas, you got the Hindu gods, you got the wood, which is the crosses. And notice what? It said it would be carried shoulder high. They do that with Mary and Christ and Catholicism and Christianity. I'm just saying. Be on your guard. Do not imitate the foreigners. Do not have any fear of their gods as you watch their worshippers flocking before and behind them. Instead, in your hearts, Master, it is you that we have to worship. For my angel is with you. Your lives will be in his care. Now, let me keep going. We're going to verse 15. Plated with gold and silver, their tongues polished with smooth by the craftsmen. That would be what the Hindus with the sticking out the tongue, right? The tongues, right? They are counterfeit and have no power to speak, as though for a girl fond of finery. These pagans take gold and make crowns for their heads, for their gods, the Tammuz, right? Sometimes the priests actually filch gold and silver from their gods to spend themselves, even using it on presents for the temple prostitutes. Disgraceful. They dress up these gods of silver, gold, and wood in clothes like human beings, although they cannot protect themselves either from tarnish or woodworm in spite of the purple cloaks they drape them in. Their faces have either to be dusted, owing to the dust of the temple which settles thick on them. One holds a sceptre like the governor of a province, yet is powerless to put anyone who offends him to death. Another holds sword and axe in his right hand, yet is powerless to defend himself against war or thieves. From it is evident that they are not gods. Do not be afraid of them. Now, why would I read this? The world is about to turn extra religious. Okay. And what people are used to, they used to be afraid of, like religious wars and, scrutiny because of religion, everything where people say, oh, that's my God, your God, you serve that, I serve this. Well, that's about to go out the window. You will, mark my words, have to stand on what you believe at some point sooner or later. It behooves you to be ready. It behooves you to be ready and solidified in the Word of God. Why? Well, because if you don't understand the truth, you will be deceived by the lies. Hey, it's just what it is. Now, there was a message the Most High shared here. He said, don't follow the idolatry, don't serve the gods that they serve. And I find it crazy how, like, through that video, the United States military, their Secretary of War and stuff, how they can tote in believing in God and Christ, but yet they say and support the opposite things that have nothing to do with Christ. And even Christ didn't even like fighting. Peter went and cut that man's ear off and said, what are you doing? Put it away, and healed the guard's ear. But Christ didn't like weapons. Christ didn't like violence. He understood who are people to, brothers and sisters, and this is the truth, who are people to fight and lose their temper so easily? Scribes and Pharisees. Remember, they picked up the stone to stone the woman? And Christ said, he who is without sin cast the first stone. Because they're so impatient. They're so judgmental. They're ready to cast judgment so easily. They're ready for bloodshed so easily. Christ didn't want that. He even said, hey, the Most High doesn't want that. you're going to start to see things more clear, brothers and sisters. And I'll be honest, it's going to get scary. It's going to get scary. All you just have to do is remember what was told to us in the book of John, right? We are not of the world, we're just in the world. He called us out of the world. And for some people, standing up for the truth is going to feel so hard because many people thought they've done it and haven't even done it once. I said what I said. Some people thought they stood up for God and haven't even done it once. We're talking about all out persecution. Yeah. An all out persecution. Now, don't think it's going to be so simple as, oh, do you believe? And I'm going to specifically talk to those of our brothers and sisters in Babylon, America. Don't think it's going to be so easily as, oh, do you serve Christ? Do you believe in God? Mm-mm. It's going to be mixed with politics. Oh, what do you think about those people over there? Oh, what do you think about those people over there? How do you feel about these people? What are your views on this? That's where it's going. And that leads me to share a video. Now, check this out. It leads me to this video.
Say that somebody was coming into our church and they're black, and would they be eligible for membership in our church? Yes, of course they would. They'd be eligible for membership in our church. But would they be permitted to participate in, embody, and practice what I would call black culture generally in our church? The answer is absolutely not. Why? Because the characteristics that mark black culture as a generalization, in the same way Paul's talking about Cretans on Crete, they are evil, murderous, violent, bestial people. They steal, they kill, they destroy. They are sinful to the core. They have besetting sins that are like fatherlessness, sexual immorality. They molest children at a high rate. All of any criminal statistic that you can look at, almost pretty much without exception, they excel at them. Black culture.
And it's even interesting. I mentioned it before, but like the black guy on TikTok, he was saying, he's like, y'all crazy. Like, you're talking about this person like it's mental health. He said, that ain't no mental health. That's a demon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people are seeing that. Like, this behavior is demonic. To walk up to a white girl.
Either, but yeah.
And to cut her throat.
Because she's white.
Because she's white, and be like, yeah, we got that white girl.
We got that white girl. When you think about it, you look at that culture, you say, what are the besetting sins and characteristics of it? And then you say, could somebody come in a lawful church membership embodying that culture? No. They have to self-consciously repudiate that culture.
Now, hey, I'm gonna let you I'm gonna let you know, okay, something. Christians are going to turn away so many people from God because there's more than just black Christians. There's white Christians, there's Indian Christians, there's African Christians, there's Japanese Christians, there's Malaysian Christians, there's Bolivian Christians, there's all kinds of Christians, right? But if anyone is Christian and listening to this, You may say, okay, I agree, the black culture, right? But what they're saying is they're using black culture as, what do you see, what's used on television to promote lawlessness and violence, okay, the rap music and stuff like that in the movies, right? But what they're saying is culture. And culture is something that people hold to as a part of heritage, right? Rap music is not culture because everyone doesn't rap who is black. Just like playing sports is not culture. Just because someone's black doesn't mean they can dribble a basketball, dunk, run really fast. There's some people who can run fast with their legs, and there's some people who can run fast with their mind and are super intelligent, right? Those are individual characteristics. Culture now is something different, you see? Now, culture is, when you say crime is someone's culture, now you are classifying everyone as a criminal, saying their culture, it is embedded in someone's DNA to do evil. Now, once it hits black people, as they say, once people start realizing that, and it starts hitting black people, then it's going to say, well, you're welcome to my church, but we don't want to hear you speak Spanish in church because that's not our culture. You have to keep that culture over there. And then after that, it'll say, well, you cannot speak Mandarin. You have to speak English here because this is our culture, you see. So this is nothing more than a veil to say, hey, we don't want anyone to claim that they're so-called Christian unless they fit into our culture. But the world is so big. You see that? Now you can look it up. You can see videos. Love my brothers and sisters, but the black brothers and black sisters I have, right? They're saying on social media, "Oh, I'm a Christian before I'm black." What? The Most High made us all our race, so we can't just change what the Most High made us. If the Most High made you white, He made you white. If He made you brown, He made you brown. If He made you yellow, He made you yellow. That's what He made you to be. That's what He saw you best identified in the beauty that He thought would match you with that specific tone, with that specific body figure, and that specific hobbies and things that interest you. He created you that way. That would be the culture of God, so to speak, right? And what's the culture of God? The culture of the Most High God is to create everyone with love so that we know that He loves us. So we don't have to compare our love for someone else that loves the Most High, that we can compare His love, just us and Him. But now, now they're saying, well, you have to conform to our culture. And Christianity, brothers and sisters, is going to, this is my belief. And you can see You can see why so many people leave Christianity is because of these things. Oh, it's my way. But the Bible says, oh, we don't go by that. This is how we do it here in this church. Excuse me? Your religion, Christianity, came through plummeting and pillaging the land of Israel after the death of Christ. After they persecuted him, and the Romans said, hey, Jews, you go and decide, the scribes and the Pharisees, it took over, knowing that this person, Christ, was very special, and if you harmed him, that you knew that the Most High would bring judgment to the children of Israel, so you were kind of egging it on. So your religion came through, what do they say, crusaders? I see the videos now of the crusaders coming back. Not the motorcycle gang we shared in the last video, but the crusaders, the ones who, the Knights Templars, right? The Rosicrucians, right? Those were Catholic knights. They were fighting and killing people who would bring out the truth. And anything that went against the Christian church, they would dismantle and destroy it. That is their culture that they're referring to. Remember, he said, the Stephen Miller guy, he said, what? We came from the caves. We built Rome. We are those people. They're the conquerors. Talking about a whole race of people and their culture is evil. Come again? That's sick. I don't understand how you can sit there and preach the word of God and classify a whole race of people. I stood in front of a Klan member when I was about 16, 17 in Otsego, New York. I was working for a congresswoman back then, and I was doing canvassing. And I'll never forget it. I knocked on a man's door, and he came out in a Klan uniform. And he didn't really even come out his home. He just opened the door, and he was wearing a Klan uniform with a gun. I didn't sit there and say after that I don't like all white people. I didn't sit there and say, oh, every white person is a Klan member. You don't classify everyone just from a few people. I share that to say this, brothers and sisters. This is where this is going. This is where this is going. I want you to sit there and think about it, right? Let's say if Noah was alive right now, okay? And Noah was like, everyone get on the boat. You think Noah would say, well, he would say, do you love the Most High? Do you believe in the Most High? Are you willing to take the covenant of the Most High? Are you willing to abide by the Most High's rules, his laws, his statutes, his commands? Are you willing to treat everyone with respect, including the animals? Because I was certain that in the New Testament it said that everyone's supposed to come a new man, not just black people, because their culture is so bad. But that's white, brown, black, Hispanic, Asian. Uh, it can be Persian, it can be Chinese, it can be Filipinos, it can be Fiji, it could be Australians, it could be, Nigerians, it could be Algerians, it could be anyone. But everyone was supposed to come as a new man. So what you see now is Christianity now changing to what they used to be. If you would like to be classified as a Christian, you must conform to what we call a new man is, and that is leaving your culture and adapting ours. When I tell you the fire of hell is hot. The fire of hell is hot, brothers and sisters. Now, I saw this video and I was like, you know what? This is what they don't like to share. And I don't know the music. I just seen it was a random video. But this is what they would not like to share. Now, this looked like they got the high trucks, and to say that everyone who drives a high truck would be like, they would say a stereotype is like a hillbilly or a redneck. Now, he's got redneck up there. That's true. But I see some black folks in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, maybe there's more. But they having a good old time together. They having a good old time together. Now, I'm not condoning the sin and the alcohol, but what I'm saying is they're having a good old time together. They're having a good old time together. I can never understand why there's such a hatred, because some people hate and some others say, let's just be friends. I can't understand it. I mean, we're all fighting the same demons. We're all fighting the same demons. But they won't show you things like this because they want to show everyone separate. Now, if this is in sin, why can't this be in Christ? You see what I'm saying? That's why people are going to leave Christianity. That's why Christianity is destroying itself, and the United States is the one who will destroy it. Mark my words, United States, and they led Europe. They egged on Europe to do it, Australia and those countries. Come on. This is Psalms 120. It reads, when I am in trouble, I call to the Most High, and he answers me. Most High, save me from these lying lips and these faithless tongues. How will he pay back the false oath of a faithless tongue? With war, arrows harden over red hot charcoal. This is worse than a life in Meschik or camping in Kedar. Too long have I lived among people who hate peace. Who then I propose peace. When I propose peace, are all for war. Now, some of you in the United States, you see your Pentagon now changed from the Department of Defense to the Department of War. And a lot of you want peace. But you have to come to the reality that though you want peace, they are setting the tone for war. The temperature for war is already set. You are to be praying for the escape. And if you can escape, then you best to pray that the Most High teach your hands to war to defend yourself. So you can leave, not to sit like a duck in a pond, but these hands come with moving, enduring until the end. When are we going to realize, brothers and sisters? When are we going to realize? You must understand Ecclesiastes 3. There's a time for peace and a time for war. And guess what? You don't like it, but this is the reality we live in all over the world. You heard what that man said. The reality of missiles, death by missiles, is real. All it takes is for one of these politicians in the world to be heated at the next one, and things can go sour really quickly. Your life can change all in a few minutes or an hour. So your mind needs to be prepared. It needs to be prepared because this is no longer peace. This is war. War on all angles. This is war on all angles. It's Ezekiel chapter 26. Now, I was reading this and I said, man, this is a crazy parallel. Okay. Now, I want you to listen to this. Now, Tyre, we know, is Middle East, right? That was in the Phoenician area where Lebanon and different places are over there, right? Now, I want you to pay attention to these things and tell me if these things don't sound okay. Now remember also Isaiah is 13. I said Satan, and then you remember the description of Satan, right? Who had the spirit of Tyre. Okay, the spirit of Tyre was Satan and was being identified. Now, watch this. In the 11th year of the first of the month, the word of the Most High was addressed to me as follows: Son of man, since Tyre has jeered at Jerusalem, aha, it is shattered, the gate of nations. It is open, it is opening to me. Its wealth is ruined. Very well, the Most High says this. Now, Tyre, I set myself against you. I mean to cause many nations to surge against you, like the sea and its waves. Same prophecy for Jeremiah 50 and 51. Nations coming again. Let's keep going. They will destroy the walls of Tyre, but same prophecy where it said they would destroy the walls in Babylon. They will demolish her towers. I will sweep away her dust and leave her a naked rock. She will be drying. She will be a drying ground in the mid-ocean for fishing nets. For I have spoken. It is the Most High who speaks. She will be the prey of the nations. As for her daughters on the mainland, they will be put to the sword, and everyone will learn that I am the Most High. For the Most High says this: from the north I am sending, and same thing, right? In Jeremiah 50, 51, from the north, I am sending Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, king of kings, against Tyre, with horses and chariots and horsemen, a horde of many races. He will put your daughters on the mainland to the sword. He will build siege works against you, cast up a mound against you, raise a siege tower against you. He will break down your walls with his battering rams and demolish your towers with his siege engines. His horses are so many, their dust will hide you. Noise of his horsemen and his chariots and wagons will make your walls tremble as he rides through your gates, like a man entering a conquered city. His horses' roofs will trample through your streets. He will put your people to the sword and throw your massive pillars to the ground. Your wealth will be seized, your merchandise looted, your walls razed, your luxurious houses shattered. Your stones and your timbers, your very dust thrown into the sea. I will stop your music and your songs. Hollywood? The sound of your harps will not be heard again. I will reduce you to a naked rock and make you into a drying ground for fishing nets, never to be rebuilt. For I, the Most High, have spoken. It is the Most High who speaks. Still not convinced? The Most High says this to Tyre: when you hear of your fall, the groans of your wounded, and the havoc inside your walls, will not the islands shake? The rulers of the sea will all get off their thrones, lay aside their cloaks, and take off their embroidered robes. Dressed in terror, they will sit on the ground, unable to stop trembling, terrified at your fate. They will raise a dirge and say to you, you are destroyed then, swept from the seas, city of pride. You who were mighty on the sea, you and your citizens who used to terrorize the continent far and near. What did the Colombian president say? They are enemies to democracy and freedom. City of pride, Sodom and Gomorrah. Now realize, if you read the book of Jasher, what did they do in Sodom and Gomorrah? They persecuted the poor, the homeless. What did they just share? What did I share with you in that news clip? They wanted to euthanize and do lethal injections and kill the homeless. Sodom and Gomorrah, the city of pride. You were mighty on the sea, you and your citizens. Come on, this is not America. You used to terrorize the continent far and near. This is not America and European nations. predominantly America. Now the islands are trembling on the day of your fall. The island of the sea are terrified by your end. For the Most High says this, when I make you as desolate as any depopulated city, when I bring up the deep against you and the ocean covers you, I will cast you down with those who go down to the pit, down to the men of old. I will make you live in the regions underground, in the eternal solitudes with those who go down to the pit, so that you can never come back and be restored to the land of the living. I will make you an object of terror. You will not exist. People will look for you and never find you again. It is the Most High who speaks. Full stop. If that's not a scary parallel, then I don't know what to tell you. If you don't recognize it. If you don't recognize it, something is wrong there. Something is seriously wrong. But you need more? Sure, let's go. Ezekiel 27. The word of the Most High was addressed to me as follows: Son of man, raise the dirge over Tyre and say to Tyre, that city standing at the edge of the sea, doing business with the nations and innumerable islands, doing business with the nations and innumerable islands, doing business with the The Most High says this, Tyre, you used to say, I am a ship, perfect in beauty. Your frontiers stretched far out to sea. Those who built you made you perfect in beauty. Those who built you made you perfect in beauty. Cyprus from Sinai they used for all your planking. They took a cedar from Lebanon and made you masts. From the tallest of oaks of Bashan, they made your oars. They build you a deck of cedar inlaid with ivory from the Kittim Islands, Italy, Roman islands. Embroidered with linen of Egypt was used for your sail, for your flag, purple and scarlet from the Elisha Islands formed your deck tent. Men from Sidon and from Avad were your oarsmen. Your sages, Tyre, were abroad serving as sailors. Elders and craftsmen of Gobal were to caulk your seams. All the ships of the sea, the sailors in them visited you to trade with you. Men of Persia, Lud, and Put served in your army, meaning foreigners served in their army, and were your warriors. They hung up shield and helmet in you. Now, there's not too many militaries that allow foreigners in there. I'm just saying. Never mind. They brought you glory. The sons of Avad and their army manned your walls all around and kept watch for your bastions. They hung their shields all around your walls and helped to make your beauty perfect. Tarshish was your client, profiting. That's Spain. From your abundant wealth, people paid you in silver and iron, tin, and lead for your merchandise. Javan, Tabal, Meshach traded with you. For your merchandise they bartered men and bronze implements. The people of Beth Togarmah traded you horses, chargers, mules. The sons of Dedan, that's the Arabs, traded with you. And that's a certain part of Arabia, by the way. Many shores were your clients. You were paid in ivory, tusk, and ebony. Edom was your client because of the variety and quantity of your goods. She exchanged carbuncles, purple embroideries, fine linen, coral, and rubies against your goods. Judah and the land of Israel also traded with you, supplying you with the corn of Minnith, wax, honey, tallow, and balm. Damascus was your client because of the plentifulness of your goods and the immensity of your wealth, furnishing you with wine from Helbon and wool from Zahar. Dan and Javan from Uzel onward supplied you with wrought iron, cassia, and calamus in exchange for your goods. Dedan traded you in horse clothes. Arabia and even sheiks of Kedar were all your clients. They paid in lambs, rams, and he goats. The merchants of Sheba and Ramah traded with you. They supplied you with the best quality spices, precious stones, and gold against your goods. Haran, Cana, and Eden, traders of Sheba, Ashur, and Kalmad traded with you. They traded rich clothes embroidered in purple cloaks, multicolored materials, and strange plaited cords. And your markets, the ships of Tarshish, crossed the seas for your trade. Showing you that this was not in the same region. The ships of Tarshish, which is Spain, crossed the seas for your trade. Come on now. Then you were rich and glorious, surrounded by the seas. Out to the open sea your oarsmen rowed you. The east wind has shattered you, surrounded by the seas, your riches, your goods, your cargo, your crew, your sailors, your caulkers, your commercial agents, all the soldiers you carry with you, the whole host who are aboard, all will sink, surrounded by the seas on the day of your shipwreck. When they hear the cries of your sailors, the coast will tremble. Then the oars will all desert their ships. Oarsmen will all desert their ships. The sailors and seafaring people will stay ashore. They will raise their voices for you and weep bitterly. They will throw dust on their heads and roll in ashes. They will shave their heads for you and put sackcloth round their waists. They will raise a bitter dirge over you. In their despair, they will raise a dirge and mourn for you. They will bewail you. Who could compare with haughty Tyre, surrounded by the seas? When you unload your goods to satisfy so many people, when you unload your goods to satisfy so many people, when you unload your goods to satisfy so many people, you made the kings of the earth rich with your excess of wealth and goods. Now you are shattered by the waves, surrounded by the seas. Your cargo and all your crew have foundered with you. All those who live in the distant islands have been horrified at your fate. Their kings have been panic stricken, their faces quite cast down. The traders of the nations have whistled at your fate, since you have become an object of dread, gone forever, full stop. And look at these parallels. They're all referring to Revelation. And what is Revelation? What does it say? Alas, alas, Babylon is fallen. Tyre is referring to Babylon. Come on now. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. All of that was referring to Mystery Babylon. Babylon is fallen. America. They're going to learn today, Most High. At least I hope so. At least I hope so. Most High will. Most High will. Jeremiah 6. Most High will, and somebody listen. Save yourselves, men of Benjamin, from the heart of Jerusalem. Sound the trumpet in Tekoa. Set up a standard of Beth Hakshirim. For disaster threatens from the north, an immense calamity. Shall we compare the daughter of Zion to a tender pasture? Shepherds advance on her with her flocks. They have pitched their tents all around her. Each grazes the part he chooses. Prepare for battle against her, to arms. We will launch the attack in broad daylight. In broad daylight. In broad daylight. Despair. The daylight is fading already. The evening shadows lengthen. To arms. We will launch the attack under cover of dark. Under cover of dark. Under cover of dark. You know why? That it's giving 2 times of the day, because on the East Coast is 1 time and on the West Coast is another. Because it's the only country. Oh man, it's the only region that has that one side can be split and 3 different times. All right, but more so 2. And destroy her palaces, for thus says the Most High Sabbath. Cut down the trees, throw up the earthwork outside Jerusalem. She is a city of falsehood, with nothing but oppression in her. As we as a well keeps its water fresh, so she keeps her wickedness fresh. Have mercy. I mean, that's true. I don't even think I've ever heard of a time where America, Babylon, has ever been like free from evils. If you sit there and think about it. Violence and ruin are what you hear in her. Disease and wounds are always before her. Be warned, Jerusalem, lest I should turn away from you and reduce you to a desert, a land without people. Most High Sabbath says this: glean, glean, as a vine is gleaned, what is left of Israel, like a great picker, pass your hand again over the branches. To whom am I to speak? Whom can I urge to hear? Amen to that one. Whom can I urge to hear? Anybody listen out there? Plainly, their ears are uncircumcised. They cannot listen. Plainly, the word of the Most High is for them something contemptible. They have no taste for it. But I am full of wrath of the Most High. I am weary of holding it in. Then pour it on the children in the streets, and where young men gather too. I shall be taken. All shall be taken, husband and wife. The gray beard and the man weighed down with years. Their houses shall pass to other men, so also their fields and their wives. Yes, I will stretch my hand over those living in this land, and it is the Most High who speaks, for all, least no less than greatest. All are out for dishonest gain, profit no less than priests. All practice fraud. They dress my people's wound without concern. What do they say? Peace, peace, they say, but there is no peace. Because when we want peace, they truly want war. They should be ashamed of their abominable deeds, but not they. They feel no shame. They have forgotten how to blush. And so, as others fall, they too shall fall. Wow. You see what the Most High is saying? When you can't be humbled, you will be humbled, like the repeating of history. They shall be thrown down when I come to deal with them, says the Most High. Most High says this: put yourselves on the ways of long ago. Inquire about the ancient paths, which was the good way. Take it then, and you shall find rest. Instead, they have said, we will not take it. I posted lookouts on their behalf. Listen to the sound of the trumpet. But they answered, we will not listen. Then hear, you nations, and know assembly, what I will do to them. Hear, earth, I am bringing disaster on this people. It is the fruit of their apostasy. It is the fruit of their apostasy. And I want to share this one. It is the fruit of their apostasy, right? Abandonment and neglect of the Most High's faith, the apostate, one who forsakes the faith. Come on. Since they have not listened to my words, and as for my law, they have rejected that, what do I care about incense imported from Sheba, or fragrant cane from a distant country? Your holocausts, meaning your sacrifice, are not, your burnt offerings are not acceptable. Your sacrifices do not please me. Therefore, thus says the Most High, in front of this people, I will now lay blocks for them to stumble over, father as well as son, neighbor and friend, all shall perish. The Most High says this, now a people is coming from the land of the north, from the far ends of the earth. A mighty nation steers. They are armed with bow and spear. They are cruel and pitiless. Their noise is like the roaring of the sea. They are riding horses, each man equipped for war. On you, daughter of Zion, we have heard the news. Our hands fall limp. Anguish has gripped us, pain like a woman's labor. Do not go out into the countryside. Do not venture on the roads, for the enemy's sword is there. There is terror on every side. Wrap yourselves in sackcloth, daughter of my people. Roll in ashes. Mourn all for an only son. Mourn as for an only son, a very bitter dirge. For on us suddenly the destroyer is coming. Now, notice this. When people stopped listening, the Most High brought destruction. I don't know if anyone noticed that. When people stopped listening, he brought destruction. I have appointed you as an sayer of my people to learn and to say how they behave. They are apostates, all of them, promiscuous slanderers, all of them corrupt. The bellows blast away to make the fire burn away the lead. In vain the smelter does his work, but the dross is not purged out. Silver reject, men call them. Indeed, the Most High has rejected them. Full stop. Now, you're going to see me try and incorporate these things more and more because now you're seeing world leaders say, oh, these people are going unpunished. The Europeans and the Americans are going unpunished, unpunished, unpunished. You don't think the Most High is hearing this? You don't think the Most High is having people say unpunished? Because when we hear the word unpunished, we know that the Most High says no man or woman goes unpunished, which means punishment must be coming. Now it's up to you to do what the Most High says. I do believe, of course, it will be the upholders, the U.S., obviously, the mystery Babylon, Europe. Oh, yeah. They coming for those structures. Now, all of Europe, no. But a lot of it, absolutely. Absolutely. And now I'm going to go to Micah 3. I'm going to the emphasis was I was going to read verse 5, but I'm going to start from verse 1. It reads, Then I said, Listen now, you princes of the house of Jacob, rulers of the house of Israel. Are you not the ones who showed what is right? You, enemies of God, of good, and friends of evil. Excuse me. When they have devoured the flesh of my people and torn off their skin and crushed their bones, when they have shredded them like flesh in a pot and like meat in a cauldron, then they will cry out to the Most High. But he will not answer them. He will hide his face at that time because all the crimes they have committed. Now, here's the thing, right? Let's look at this subtitle, Against the Rulers Who Oppress the People. Notice how the Most High is saying, what you have done to my people, I'm going to make it come fold on you. And you see the people who are prejudiced and racist, they're like, oh, we don't want Europe to turn this, and we don't want, we don't want America to be more. And a lot of them I saw in a video, they said it was a Caucasian woman, and it was someone asked, why do white people feel the way they do? And the Caucasian woman said, well, it's because they feel they're becoming the minority. And when they become the minority, they can't be in power. And well, that's why they want the immigration, because if they feel that they're becoming overpowered, then they will get treated like what they used to treat others. And it's not just about black people either. There were slaves. There were white slaves too. That's true. There were Arabs who were slaves. There were Africans who were slaves. There were Hispanics who were slaves. There were Indians, more so Hindi, but for the sake of the term, Hindi means Indians, like from India. So there were Hindis who were slaves. So there were slaves everywhere. Okay. And so all the things that was done, you see, the Most High is saying, and obviously there's not going to be no, 400 years of slavery for people, but I mean, we just want to get to the kingdom. Most High will deal with the judgment of other people, but what he's saying is how you treated people will come back upon you. But when you cry, you got to be careful because when you cry, he will hide his face, because it's just recompense for all the crimes they committed and had the audacity to say, God loves me. The Most High says this against the prophets who lead my people astray. So long as they have something to eat, they cry peace. But on anyone who puts nothing into their mouths, they declare war. Wow. So the night will come to you, an end of vision, darkness for an end of divination. The sun will set for the prophets, the day will go black for them. Then the seers will be covered with shame, the diviners of confusion. They will all cover their lips, but no answer comes from God, because no answer comes from God. Not so with me. I am full of strength, of the breath of the Most High, of justice and courage to declare Jacob's crime to his face and Israel to his. Now, notice how it says the Most High is against the prophets who lead the people, his people, astray. And I love this part, right? The seers will be covered with shame, the diviners with confusion. They will cover up their lips because there's no answer from God. Christians, what do you call that? Rapture. You call it confusion, right? You call it covering your mouth, right? You call it being in shame. And don't sit there and say, oh, I own that because, the rapture wasn't this time. No, you lied to people. You led people astray. You sat there and told people to sell their cars, sell their job, quit their jobs, sell their belongings. You are a deceiver. You get no sympathy for deceiving people. And that's how crazy Christianity is, because they'll sit there and forgive someone who deceived them. But the Bible says the Most High does not like people who lead others astray. There is no peace for evildoers. Leading people astray is evil. And then the Most High also condemned the Christians as well, right? For those who believed in that rapture and did certain steps like selling things and preparing, right? Because how are you going to sell your things for a rapture, but Christ said to sell and give to the poor? And you wouldn't even do that, showing you that you would only give things if it had your best interest in hand. And you think these people are going to the kingdom? Christ told you to give things before. These people are deceivers. These are deceivers. Call it what it is. They're deceivers. They deceive people. And then when they deceive people, what happens? Some people will fall away from the Most High. Believe it or not, some people will leave the Most High because they truly believed a rapture would occur. Some people believe that if the rapture didn't occur, that the Most High doesn't love them, all because of the lies they spewed. They deserve to be punished for that. The whole Bible tells you that. Don't lead people astray. Don't deceive others. If you don't know nothing, don't say nothing. Lean into the Most High's understanding, not your own. And I'm upset because there's people who actually love the Most High who will leave their belief in the Most High because of that. I mean, imagine hearing a Christian, you working with a Christian and say, oh, well, I'm giving up my job because, God's going to take me, but he's going to keep you here. I'm going to look at you like, I won't serve that God. Because the Bible says that everyone would put down, he would give people the ability to put down their idols. Come on now. See, you don't want to see anything. Those who believe in that rapture only seek to benefit themselves. This is Psalms 140. Psalms 140. Psalms 140 Read the whole thing out. Most High, rescue me from evil people. And this is what you should be praying, brothers and sisters. If you pay attention, I'm giving you scriptures to pray and ask the Most High, even when you're meditating, deep meditation. If you feel like you're stuck, go humbly to the Most High. Ask the Most High in humility, not, oh, Most High, you should deliver me. Because if you respond and think that way, remember, the Most High is the creator, not you and I. So, Most High, let your will be done. If you see me fit, let me rescue me. If you see it fit for me to stay, stay. But be content with what the Most High has for you. And understand that the Most High's plan is the best plan. Also saying, there are some people who will convince themselves that the Most High doesn't want them to move anywhere because they're afraid. Now, that's also lying on the Most High as well, when he gave us all clear scripture of what to do. So be careful. And use David as a standard. Most High, rescue me from evil people. Defend me from men of violence, from people plotting evil, forever intent on stirring up strife, who make their tongues as sharp as serpents with the viper's venom on their lips. Most High, guard me from attacks by the wicked. Defend me from those who love force, from people plotting to make me stumble. Forever laying snares where I walk, insolent wretches concealing pitfall and noose. That's right, a noose to trap me as I pass. I have told the Most High, you are my God. Most High, listen to my cry for help. Most High, my Lord, my saving strength, shielding my head when I have to fight. Because sometimes we do. And most definitely we will, sooner or later. Most High, do not grant their wicked wishes. Do not let their plot succeed. May those besieging me not win. May their own cruel words overtake them. May red-hot embers rain down on them. May they be flung into the abyss for good. May evil hound the man of violence to death, and the slanderer not hold his own on earth. I know the Most High will avenge the wretched and see justice done for the poor. The virtuous shall have good cause to thank your name, and the upright to find a home with you. Full stop. It's time, brothers and sisters. It really is time to ask the Most High. Jeremiah 4, and I did this one on purpose right after this one. And you're gonna see it's just like it's a little weird to do it after, but follow me. Jeremiah 4. If you wish to come back, Israel, it is the Most High who speaks. It is to me you must return. Do away with your abominations, and you will have no need to avoid me. If you swear, as the Most High lives, truthfully, justly, honestly, the nations will bless themselves by you and glory in you. For thus speaks the Most High to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Clean your ground thoroughly, sow nothing among thorns, Now remember, Christ gave us the sower seed, right? The Most High saying, sow nothing among thorns. Don't sow among earthly desires. This is what the Most High is saying. Don't put your all into gaining earthly possessions. Circumcise yourselves for the Most High. Off with the foreskin of your hearts, men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my wrath should leap out like a fire and burn with no one to quench it in return for the wickedness of your deeds. Announce it in Judah, proclaim it in Jerusalem. Sound the trumpet in the countryside, shout the message aloud. Mobilize. Shout the message aloud. Mobilize. Take to the fortified towns, signpost the way to Zion. Run and do not delay. I am bringing you disaster from the north. An immense calamity. The lion is up from his thicket. The destroyer of nations is on his way. He has come from his home to reduce your land to a desert. Your towns will be in ruins, deserted. So wrap yourselves in sackcloth, lament and wail, since the burning anger of the Most High has not turned away from us. That day it is the Most High who speaks. The king's heart will fail him. The prince's heart will fail them too. The priests will stand aghast. The prophets stupefied. People will say, ah, Lord Most High, how utterly you deceived us by saying you will have peace even when the sword is at our throats. When that time comes, this will be said to this people and to Jerusalem. From the bare heights and a scorching wind blows from the desert of the daughter of my people, and not to winnow or to cleanse, a wind full of threats comes at my command. Now I myself am going to pronounce sentence on them. Look, he is advancing like the clouds, his chariots like a hurricane, his horses swifter than eagles. Trouble is coming. Trouble is coming. We are lost. Wash your heart clean of wickedness, Jerusalem, and so be saved. How long will you abhor in your breast your pernicious thoughts? For a voice from Dan shouts the news, proclaims disaster from the highlands of Ephraim. Give warning of it, announce it in Judah, proclaim it in Jerusalem. Enemies are coming from a distant country, shouting their war cry, shouting their war cry, shouting their war cry against the towns of Judah. They surround Jerusalem like watchmen round a field because she has apostatized from me. It is the Most High who speaks. Your own behavior and actions have brought this on you. Your own behavior, your own behavior, your own behavior and actions have brought this on you. This is your fate. How bitter, how it pierces your heart. I am in anguish. I writhe in pain. Walls of my heart is throbbing. I cannot keep quiet, for I have heard the trumpet call and the cry of war. Ruin on ruin is the news. The whole land is laid waste. My tents are suddenly destroyed. In one moment, all that sheltered me is gone. How long must I see the standard and hear the trumpet call. This is because my people are stupid. They don't know me. They are slow-witted children. They have no understanding. They are clever enough at doing wrong. They do not know how to do right. And you know, remember I played that video where it said that the people can assimilate? You understand that they do understand that we are God's people, but they refuse to help us. I want you to, because they literally taken what the Bible says. Just a thought. Just a thought. And that's why they got to get punished too, because they went overboard, right? Not loving their brothers and sisters as a creation. But going back, this is because my people are stupid. They do not know me. They are slow-witted children. They have no understanding. They are clever enough at doing wrong, but do not know how to do right. I looked to the earth to see a formless waste, to the heavens, and their light had gone. I looked to the mountains to see them quaking, and all the heights austere. I looked to see no man at all. The very birds of heaven had fled. I looked to see the wooded country as a wilderness, all its towns in ruin. At the presence of the Most High, at the presence of his burning anger, yet thus speaks the Most High. The whole land shall be laid waste. I will make an end of it once for all, at which the earth will go into mourning and the heavens above grow dark. For I have spoken and will not change my mind. I have decided and will not go back on it. And you know what's interesting? You can tell people who fully believe in politics, they don't understand God at all. Because if he prophesied through the prophets something years and years ago and said it didn't matter what you did, what president you got, what person, prime minister you elected, his mind ain't changing. What would be the purpose of voting? For I have spoken and will not change my mind. I have decided and will not go back on it. At the cry, horsemen and bowmen, the whole country takes flight. Some plunge into the thickets, others scale the rocks. Every town is abandoned and no one is left there. And you, what are you going to do? Yeah, you. What are you going to do? You may dress yourself in scarlet, put on ornaments of gold, enlarge your eyes with paint, but you make yourself pretty in vain. Your lovers disdain you. Your life is what they are seeking. Yes, I hear screams like those of a woman in labor, anguish like that of a woman giving birth to her first child. They are screams of the daughter of Zion, gasping, hands outstretched. Ah, I despair. I am fainting away with murderers surrounding me. Full stop. If you want change, if you don't want the destruction, what are you doing? Go full force with the Most High. What's happening? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Surely you love the Most High, right? And get to it. Job chapter 5. And I read, Make your appeal then. Will you find an answer? To which of the holy ones will you turn? Resentment kills the senseless, and anger brings death to the fool. I myself have seen how such a one took root until a swift curse fell on his house. His sons at a single blow lose their prop and stay, ruin at the gate with no one to defend them. Their harvest goes to feed the hungry. God snatches it from their mouths, and the thirsty men hanker after their goods. Grief does not grow out of the earth, nor sorrow spring from the ground. It is man who breeds trouble for himself. It is man who breeds trouble for himself. It is man who breeds trouble for himself, as surely as eagles fly to the height. If I were as you are, I should appeal to God and lay my case before him. His works are great, past all reckoning, marvels beyond all counting. He sends down rain to the earth, pours down water on the fields. If his will is to rescue the downcast or raise the afflicted to the heights of joy, he wrecks the plans of the artful and brings to naught their intrigues. He traps the crafty in the snare of their own shrewdness and turns subtle counselors to idiots. In daylight, they come against darkness and grope their way as if noon were night. He rescues the bankrupt from their jaws and the poor men from the hands of the violent. Thus the wretched can hope again. Thus the wretched can hope again, and wickedness must shut its mouth. Happy indeed the man whom God corrects. Amen. Then do not refuse a lesson from Shaddai. From he who wounds is he who soothes the sore. For he who wounds is he who soothes the sore. I repeat, for he who wounds is he who soothes the sore. And the hand that hurts is the hand that heals. 6 times he will deliver you from sorrow, and the 7th evil shall not touch you. In time of famine, he will save you from death, and in wartime from the stroke of the sword. And you shall be safe from the lash of the tongue, and see the approach of the brigand without fear. You shall laugh at drought and frost, and have no fear of the beast of the earth. You shall have a pact with the stones of the field, and live in enmity with wild beasts. You shall find your tent secure and your sheepfold untouched when you come. You shall see your descendants and multiply, your offspring grow like the grass in the fields. In ripe age you shall go to the grave like a wheat sheaf stacked in due season. All this we have observed. It is true. Heed it, and do so to your profit. Full stop. Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to keep in mind, and obviously you see, be aware, be wise. The world is moving fast. and so is prophecy. You see, I love this scripture here. You're supposed to appeal before the Most High, but it says resentment kills the senseless. Let's look at this word. Resentment, obviously, root word is resent. A deep sense of injury. Excitement of passion which proceeds from a sense of wrong offered to oneself, or one's kindred or friends. Resent, root word. Pain and distress, taking ill, consider as an injury or affront. Regret. Now, let's look at this word. Regret. To look back. And remember I said, brothers and sisters, do something that your future self would thank you for. Resentment kills the senseless. That's regret. At this moment, brothers and sisters, as prophecy is moving faster than you and I can wake and go to sleep and wake up again. Don't be in denial of the truth. The truth is all around us. This is happening. It's getting worse by the minute. It's getting worse by the day. It's getting worse by the night. You are in it. I am in it. We are all in it. But brothers and sisters, please do not be on that broad path. Please do not be on the road of regret. Please do not be walking in the road of denial. I promise you, you'll feel terrible after, should you remain in denial. We covered a lot of things in this little series, and I praise the Most High. I praise the Most High if it even reached one person, that it will help them see clearly as to what's happening and to read further. It's just like Book of Baruch said, Baruch 83, 2nd Baruch 83. You have much time to read. Sooner or later, knowledge will be concrete, which means what you have is what you have. What you don't have is what you don't have. Be careful out there, brothers and sisters. There's only two paths. Many are called, and few are chosen. Few are chosen to journey on the straight and narrow, but there are many who seek the broad because they wish to remain on the road of denial. Shabbat Shalom.